So the son of the former drug lord El Chapo and the Sinaloa cartel leader Joaquin Guzman Lopez today pleading not guilty. 5 federal counts related to drug trafficking. Guzman Lopez indicted on federal narcotics, money laundering, firearms charges. Last year, arrested just last Thursday. Now, he was arrested along with the alleged Sinaloa cartel co-founder El Mayo. Trial attorney Misty Marris joins us on this. This is some story. So El Chapo's son basically gave up El Mayo, it looks like, right? That's what happened here.
Yeah, a lot of drama, a lot of betrayal behind the scenes. So El Chapo's son apparently was going to give himself up to the United States authorities. But in addition to that, he also brought El Mayo over so he could be apprehended. And when I say brought over, Connell,
right,
there's a little bit of a dichotomy in the stories.
Well, one of the stories, he threw a bag over his head and put him on the plane, and then the plane flew into the U.S.
Right. That's one of the stories, is a kidnapping, obviously non-consensual, putting him on that plane, bringing him over after putting the bag on his head, handcuffing him, forcing him over. The other is he got duped, thinking there was going to be a real estate deal that they were going to look into. So not sure which one's true, but it's looking like it's the former. It's looking like the kidnapping.
So it's weird then. As I said, he has all these charges, and he entered the not guilty plea today. So does that mean he didn't cut a deal to turn this guy over? Or?
So his lawyers have said that he does not have a deal at this time, but there's no way that he is bringing El Mayo over, basically aiding law enforcement, and he's also turning himself in. The only reason to do that in his situation is because he was getting closed in on, and he thinks it's going to find some favor with prosecutors.
So it's a play, essentially. He didn't have the deal, but he figures, well, it's worth a shot.
That's what it seems like. And as far as El Mayo's concerned, I'm already seeing his lawyer out there in the public sphere saying he came here, he was kidnapped. So I think what you're going to see is challenging extradition and maybe using some diplomacy between Mexico and the United States.
Could that work?
Well, there's actually long-standing case law that even if somebody is in the country against their will, it doesn't mean that those charges go away. They can still be prosecuted. But there is a diplomatic aspect between Mexico and the United States. So it could complicate it, not working dispositive. It's not like the charges get dismissed.
All right, let me get your thought on another case we've been following forever out on Long Island here in New York of the alleged serial killer, Rex Heuermann, back in the news today. Want to go out there to the local DA, Ray Tierney, as they get some more information in that case. Here's Tierney.
Material, especially since we've superseded since the original indictment, we've superseded that indictment twice and added 3 additional murders. And obviously we have to provide discovery pertaining to those murders as well, one of which extends back to 1993.
So they have new evidence coming in. Where does this case go next?
Well, this was a relatively routine status hearing where you're talking about turning evidence over, and there's like so much electronic data, Connell, in addition to other aspects, and you're talking about 30 years span, 6 different deaths. So this case is not going to be going to trial anytime soon. But what we did learn from today's hearing is a little bit about what the defense is going to challenge. Number one, obviously, they're going to go after those forensics, the DNA evidence. Something the defense attorney said that I found interesting. Remember that chilling manifesto?
Yes.
He said those are excerpts from a book many people could read. So he's already kind of developing something about having that type of information on Heuermann's computer. He also is going to seek a change of venue and to sever the cases, meaning try those cases separately.
You're the one who says it, right? There's always a defense.
Always a defense.
And that's the one in this case. There you go. All right, Misty, good to see you.
Thank you.
Misty Marris.